YouTube, what's up? Jama Tactical Trading here. We'll be having our week preview, for the week of July 6th, talking about some of the upcoming catalysts in the stock market for the week, some of the plays that we could look at these catalysts and possibly take advantage of and make some money. Keep in mind, I am not a financial advisor. I'm just a dumbass talking to a phone. Just giving you my opinion here. One of the upcoming catalysts that we do have here is Blackout Tuesday. Now I know when we had Juneteenth, these four stocks, they are black-owned companies. These stocks just had tremendous runs that week. And there's four stocks that we're going to be looking at in particular for this particular catalyst. The first one will be Broadway Financial. This is a black-owned financial institution. The ticker symbol is BYFC. Actually, on Thursday, it opened at $2.54, hit a high of 326 and closed at 311. This had about 21 million in volume traded, and this one has a very small float of 5.4 million in float. Why I like to look at stocks with very low float is because the float is the shares available that can be traded to the public, traded amongst the public. And when it has a low float, the more volume that comes in, these shares rotate. The float rotates, and each time the float rotates, investors and people who buy the stock to hold take their shares out of the float. And in turn creates a supply and demand situation where the stock is forced to go up. And with this catalyst, I believe that this stock with low float could have more volume than 21 million on Monday, and could be a good trade. Now keep in mind, I'm not telling you to buy any of these stocks. I'm not telling you that these are all buy and holds. You got to keep in mind that I am a trader. I am a day trader and a short-term swing trader. I only hold stocks at the most for 2 or 3 days, and sometimes I hold stocks as long as 3, 4, 5 minutes. So this is not an investing channel. This is about trading. BYFC, that's a stock that could be coming to play on Monday because of this blackout on Tuesday, where people on social media will be blacking out their pictures and putting in honor of George Floyd and the other gentleman in... I don't know if I call him a gentleman, but the guy who fought the police over in Atlanta. Another stock that we'll be looking at on that day will be Urban One, U1. Now you got to keep in mind, this stock, this opened at 1925, hit a high of 1971, and closed at 1927. Had very small volume on Thursday of 468,000, and has approximately about 1 million in float. So this thing has very little float. But on Juneteenth and right around that time, and the other blackout day, this stock in particular went from around, I believe it was around $2, and this stock shot up all the way as high as $55 or $54. So this one was just a parabolic move. And people made a lot of money, and there was a lot of bag holders that lost money on these. You have to be very careful with these low flow plays. All I'm doing right now is giving you ideas, my thesis and ideas to look at some of these stocks, and when you see them run, maybe jump in and jump out for a trade to put some money in your account. U1 again, it's about $19.25, but it did hit highs in the 50s. This thing could have potential, I think, because once this stock starts running, it really garners momentum. And if the shares are a lot higher than 486,000 traded, if you start looking into the millions traded, this float's going to be rotating and this stock's going to go up. Also keep in mind that this stock took very quick downfalls as well too, so these are not buy and holds. This is not something you want to buy and hold for a few days. In fact, any of these stocks I will not be holding into Tuesday. I will be looking to take a position on Monday, a very quick position, and get my 10-15%. And also keep in mind, I never look for home runs. If the home run happens, wonderful. If the grand slam happens, wonderful. I'm a singles hitter. I'm the Ichiro of the stock market. I'm looking for just base hits after base hit after base hit, and after a while those add up and can accumulate and really, really grow your account. So I typically look for about 10% on a trade to 15% on a trade, no more than that. But if it happens, it happens. I usually take my profits rather quickly, and a lot of times I'm buying a stock, selling the stock, and then watch it run even more afterwards. But that's something I don't worry about if as long as I got my 10 to 15%. Another stock we'll be looking at for this catalyst will be Carver Bank Corp. The ticker is CARV. CARV. This stock opened at $7.43 on Thursday, hit a high of $7.50 and closed at around $7.13. The stock traded 1.5 million shares on Thursday and has a 1.35 million float. So this is another one with a very small float. So it's the same catalyst, it's the same thesis, it's the same game plan on this stock. Another one, in the fourth and final one I'll be looking at with this catalyst, is AMS. This stock is American Shared Hospital Services, AMS. Now, mind you, all four of these are black-owned companies on Wall Street, publicly traded Wall Street companies. And like I said, because they are black-owned, people will be looking to support these companies, and throughout this they'll be buying and may get a lot of action. This stock opened at $2.10 on Thursday, hit a high of $2.17 and closed at $2.11. Only traded 98,000 shares, so it's very sparsely traded on Thursday, and has 3.49 million available in float. Again, remember these four stocks, what I told you the volume was, you're looking for much higher volume, in right around here, you're looking for much higher volume. So when you garner the much higher volume, that would indicate that you do want to possibly jump in and trade these stocks. Again, they all have very low float. But again, that's my thesis on Tuesday's blackout. I would be looking to get it on these sometime on Monday for a good position to get in, and then get out before the day's over with. Now we'll be heading to another sector that I'm definitely excited about, a sector that has been very hot over the past couple weeks, especially the past 2 weeks, and I believe can be a continuation through the month of July and possibly through the whole summer. And this is the electric vehicle sector. I'm going to be going over a few plays in this sector that I think are the main players in this sector, and some sympathy plays. If you miss these, there will be some sympathy plays. A sympathy play is a company that is just a stock runs. It has a huge run. There's other plays in that sector that are very similar, may not have the same financials, but they do approximately the same thing, and these stocks tend to get dragged along and dragged up with the main player in the sector. Obviously, we all know that Tesla is the main player in this sector, but the majority of the people that are going to be trading, we're talking mainly looking to get into penny stocks, cheaper stocks under $5. But right now, Tesla aside, I think the main player in this is a stock called Workhorse, WKHS. Now, this stock is up almost 1,000% over the past few weeks. We're looking at a stock that was trading under $1 quite some time ago. I believe in the spring, this thing was under $1. This thing has just had a parabolic move over the past 8 to 10 days. On Thursday, it opened at $20.36, traded as high as $22.90. That was the high of the day, and closed at $20.91. This stock has 120 million in float, and had 120 million volume traded on Thursday, and has a 55 million share float. So it's a little bit higher float than I like to trade, but considering the shares that are trading and exchanging hands, 55 million float's not too high. Now, the reason I like this stock, and this is why this is my favorite in the actual electric vehicle market, is because they have a C-Series truck that is built and actually perfect. Now, they also have government approval for these trucks. Their C-Series trucks are perfect for companies like UPS, FedEx, and these final mile delivery companies that where semi trucks can't get in, and you need the smaller trucks to drop off the package delivery. Now they also have a drone that will be down the line doing package deliveries, which could garner them contracts with Amazon and other companies like this. So even though this company is up tremendously, I still think this has a lot of room to run, and this will be pulling some sympathy plays along with it. One of the sympathy plays I think will be coming along with it is this company is Akramoto. The ticker symbol is FUV, Frank Ugly Victor. And this stock actually opened at $5.63 on Thursday, went as high as $7.08, and closed at $6.82. This stock traded 4.65 million shares on Thursday and has a 16.4 million float. Still a tad bit higher than I like to trade, but the float's not too bad. And I think being a sympathy play of Workhorse, this stock is going to be able to run along with Workhorse and could be a very good stock to look at over next week and possibly the subsequent weeks following. Another play I like in this sector right here is Solo, SOLO. This company is called Electromechanica, and the ticker symbol SOLO. This stock had a nice day on Thursday, opened at $2.50. Hit a high of $3.55 and closed at $3.13. And also in the after hours, this had a little bit of a run in it as well. This traded 127 million shares. So this was very thickly traded. In fact, traded more than Workhorse on Thursday, and has a 30.44 million float. So 30,444,000 float. So it does have a relatively low float, or I would say a middle of the range float. Again, a little bit higher than I particularly look for, but I do like this stock. I think this stock has a lot more run left in it, as well as Workhorse and FUV. These are the three main players in this sector. A couple other ones that I will be looking at, and these could be sympathy plays to write down, would be NIO Inc., NIO, CBAC Energy Tech, CBAT. We'll also be looking at CPS Tech, CPSH, Candy Tech, KNDI Tech, the ticker symbol KNDI. And if you're looking for a tiny play, a tiny penny stock, this is a electric motorcycle maker out of Africa. This company is Alternate Systems. It's a penny stock. It's trading a little bit over 1 cent, and the ticker symbol is ALYI. This had a run, I believe it was on Monday or Tuesday, and came back a little bit, but I think this is going to be a nice sympathy play with the rest of these. Now, like I said, it's not only the electric car makers that I will be looking at. My favorite company that will be involved in this is Blink Charging. Now, obviously, if the electric vehicles are garnering steam and more electric vehicles will be coming out, you have to charge these vehicles. This would be just like the gas stations for these things. And Blink Charging is the front runner, or one of the front runners in this area. Blink Charging, the ticker symbol BLNK. Now, this one opened at $5.40. Went as high as $6.25 and closed at $5.28. Traded 17.7 million shares and has a 20.28 million float. So this does have a relatively low float. So I would be looking for this to pick up a little steam. I see this stock along with Workhorse and the rest of them. I see Blink going right along with them. So I really like Blink. That's actually my favorite accessory play with these electric vehicles. Now, another company that actually had a nice run about a week and a half ago, but got absolutely crushed because of rumors from short sellers, the company is Ideanomics. Now, this company, in fact, I have to do a little more research on them about the actual model of their business plan, but I believe they actually help out with the funding and the financing of these electric vehicles. And the ticker symbol is IDEX. This company opened on Thursday at $1.69, and that was the high of the day. This thing closed, so the high of the day was $1.69 and closed at $1.53. Traded 41 million shares and has a pretty high float of 128 million shares. But this stock has shown that it can run. I think if this company can prove that the short sellers' rumors were false and that their business model is sound, I think that this company can run. So it'd be a company I'd definitely be looking at. So that's all for the electric vehicle sector. I have a few more plays that I'll definitely be looking at for the upcoming week. And obviously, we're gonna with COVID-19 still going on. You gotta wear these stupid masks. So we're gonna talk about COVID-19. Now, my favorite COVID-19 play, and it's hard to pronounce this company. This is a Chinese company, and it's a mask maker. But this is one of my favorite plays for next week. And this is Lianluo Smart Limited. The ticker symbol is LLIT. This company opened on Thursday at 63 cents, hit a high of 67 cents, and closed at 65 cents. And it went up tremendously in the after hours, up to 75 cents in the after hours. So this had a nice run in the after hours. Up to 75 cents and right around there. This ticker symbol traded 1.52 million shares on Thursday, and it has a rather low float of 14.48 million shares. This is something this actually about a month back, if I'm not mistaken. In fact, let me look this up. This company was actually in February, right when the coronavirus kind of took hold in this country. This company, and bear with me 1 second here. This company actually went as high as $3.50. It shot up from about right around a little under 50 cents all the way up to $3.40 and change. So this thing had a nice run in it. And then it absolutely got crushed all the way in maybe about a week and a half. Got crushed from 350 all the way down back into the 50-cent range. Obviously this is not a long-term hold, but with the news swirling about shutdowns and such with COVID, I would be looking for this play to have a nice week this week. I could see this thing getting to $1 or better. And this might be a short swing trade or a couple-day hold. Again, the ticker symbol is LLIT. I really like this play for next week. Another play I'd be to keep your eye on with the threat of more lockdowns, shutdowns, and with this play, I would keep my eyes on the schools because this is actually a stay-at-home learning program. This is called Boxlight Corporation. BOXL. This company opened at 89 cents on Thursday, went as high as 96 cents, and closed at 92 cents. Traded 3.48 million shares and has a very low float of 6 million shares. So this is a very low float stock. I think if there's any word going around that schools may be closing or they may have delayed in opening some of these schools, I think Boxlight might be a play that's going to jump and have a really good run in it. So these are stocks I'd be looking at not only next week, as far as LLIT and BOXL. These are stocks I'd be looking at going into the next few weeks. I would just keep my eye on the news swirling, what states are shutting down, how many states are going to continue to shut down, and if we do have shutdowns, I think, or a heavy reemergence of COVID-19, I think these plays can be very solid plays for that. And another stock that I am looking at for a trade next week, and this is definitely not because these guys actually have a class action lawsuit against them. So I wouldn't be looking to really hold this play whatsoever, but if you start to see a lot of volume coming in a run, this is called Chembio Diagnostics. Chembio Diagnostics. The ticker symbol is CEMI. This is a COVID play that actually had a nice run on Thursday, which I think could garner a little bit of a continuation this week. This stock opened on Thursday at $3.73, hit a high of $4.38, and closed at $4.18. Traded 22 million shares and has a low float of right around 14 million in float. So I would also keep an eye on this company. Any news about that class action lawsuit, I think that this stock could take a dump and then it could bounce up. They're actually working on tests for COVID-19, so it's something that you have to take a look at. Now, I have two earnings plays for next week, and then after that we're going to just talk about two other plays that I think can have a continuation for the week, and then we'll be done here. Two earnings plays that I will be definitely looking at this week that have earnings. One early in the week, one late in the week. The one early in the week is Remark Holdings. The ticker symbol is MARK. This company had a nice run earlier in the COVID era, and right now this stock opened at $2.33. Hit a high of $2.40 and closed at $2.36. Traded approximately 7 million shares on Thursday. It does have a little bit of a higher float of 85 million shares. These guys make the electronic thermometers, the no-touch thermometers. They infrared diagnostics, things of that nature. Again, with the COVID, I think these guys have done very well. So I think they may beat earnings. I wouldn't hold these through earnings, so I'd look at exactly the date and time when they're releasing their earnings. This could run up right to earnings, and I'm not one to ever hold through earnings, just for the reason that earnings can be, it could be hit or miss. If the earnings come out very well, the stock could pop, but if the earnings miss or they're off mark or Wall Street doesn't take, the investors don't take to their earnings, the stock could dump. So this would be a play that I would buy prior to earnings, hold up to earnings, and cut it before earnings. This could have a nice run up to earnings. Another one that has earnings later in the week is Top Chips Inc. TOPS. Now this stock opened at 13 cents, hit a high of 14 cents, and closed at 13 cents. Traded 56 million shares. This is a heavily traded stock and has a higher float of 117 million shares. I think this, with the oil market and companies having to, when the oil completely dropped, no one wanted to store oil. They used these companies to store their oil on. These are basically oil tankers, and I think another company, Ship, had earnings last week and had very good earnings. So I think that could be another play to buy early in the week, hold it throughout the week, and right before earnings, cut this one. Now you could take the risk and hold it through earnings and get a nice surprise and make quite a few bucks on that, but that's just not what I do. You buy the rumor, sell the news, and that's the way I play the stock market. So the rumor would be that they do have good earnings. I would hold, expect to run up through earnings, all the way to earnings, and then cut before the earnings comes to take you a little bit of profit. Now, last week, two stocks in particular, and these will be the last two stocks that I am talking about right now. One is Genius Brands, GNUS. This stock actually on Thursday opened at $2.59 and then a heck of a run, hit a high of $3.95 and closed at $3.55. This thing traded 280 million shares. So this is one of the thickly traded stocks in the stock market. They're actually a Cartoon Network that just actually did a deal with Arnold Schwarzenegger, who actually did not take payment from these guys but took stock from these guys. And they have Stan Lee kids. They're actually putting out toys. They're putting out a lot of things. And Monday, they will actually be having a press conference. So I think if you were to buy in early, and you may want to hold through, but that's not what I do. But up until the press conference and then cut before the press conference, if you want to hold through, they could have some good news. Like I said, they're having a new show, Stan Lee superheroes kids show. They're all cartoons. It's like a Cartoon Network. They're putting out toys. So and mind you, Genius Brands actually shot up not too long ago to almost $11.50, $12 per share. So this is a stock that can have parabolic moves to it too. So I could see this being a continuation play from Thursday into Monday, maybe even further. So I do I want to keep my eye on Genius Brands. And finally, a stock that I'll be looking at next week very closely is, G Group, JOB. What this company does is they get involved in staffing and helping with staffing. The company's doing pretty well right now, and they actually, on Thursday, they paid off $47 million in debt, completely cleared their debt. So this was a huge move for this company. And then they also had an analyst upgrade. So they were the analysts upgraded them from a hold to a buy, and they had a price target of $2.50 with this. Now this stock had a tremendous run on Thursday. This stock shot up from about the upper 40s, 48, 49 cents, shot all the way to the 240s. In fact, I made a couple of trades. I made 2 trades on the JOB. Again, the ticker symbol is JOB. I made 2 trades on this. One pre-market trade where I bought in at 130, sold at 165. It dipped back down to about 160 where I bought back in, and then I sold after the second halt because this company was trading so thickly and there were so many buys that it halted 2 or 3 times, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't really look at it much after the second halt. I made my 2 trades and I was done with this play, but I will be looking at it this week. I bought in again at 160 and sold out around $2. So I made 2 very good trades on this company on Friday or on Thursday, and I will be looking at it next week because the rest of the day, and once it hit about 240, this progressively just declined for the rest of the day, even though it had very, very good news for this company. I think a lot of profit taking. There could have been a lot of people that had this stock, for the past couple weeks from when it was, very cheap, and they just wanted to take profit. So I think there was a lot of profit taking going on. This stock traded 80 million shares. And it's a very low float play. I would say a very low float play, but it's a low float play with 12 million in float. So the float rotated about 7 times on this stock, and I think this is something definitely to look for next week. If you see any momentum, because this stock was also heavily shorted. So if it went up to 240, if you see this thing going anywhere to the 180, 190 range, we may have a short squeeze on this stock and it can pop right back up into the 240. So this is definitely a play I'll be looking at next week. And that's it. Thank you for joining me and listening to me talk about the stock market and what we're looking at next week. Again, the main plays I'm looking at next week: BYFC, UONE, CARV, AMS. Those are the 4 plays I'm looking out for Blackout Tuesday. These will be trades I will be keeping an eye on for Monday. The electric vehicles, I'll be looking at Workhorse. Always keep my eye on that. And these electric vehicle plays are a little bit more long term, not only into next week but also further into the summer. Will be Workhorse, WKHS, FUV, BLINK, SOLO, and then the penny stock of ALYI. The COVID plays we'll be looking at next week are LLIT, the mask maker, and I will be looking at that play very, very intently next week. And then also looking at Boxlight, BOXL, and the last play on there will be CEMI. Again, I'd be looking for a dip on this and then buying on the dip. We're looking at the 2 earnings plays next week: MARK, Remark Holdings, and TOPS, Top Ships. And then the 2 continuation plays I'll be looking for next week are Genius Brands, GNUS, and JOB. I will be opening a Patreon channel very soon, and on that channel I'll be showing every trade that I make. You'll be able to see when I get in, the prices I'm looking at, where I'm looking to get in, where I'm looking to get out of these plays. It'll be a little more in depth on where I'm looking to make my moves on these plays. Right here we're just putting in general of what stocks I'll be keeping my eye on throughout the week. And on the Patreon, we will be, which will be up sometime next week, we'll be looking at where we're going to be making these plays and exactly where we're going to be looking to get in, looking to get out, what levels we'll be looking at. And then also on the Patreon, we'll be doing training courses. We'll be looking at how to read charts, what we look for as far as every trade. So that's something to look out for. Thank you for your time, and we'll see you later in the week.